As writer and critic Jose Hugo Fernandez says, it is impossible to synthesize in a few lines all the rich content of the book Edison Institute, School of Life. So perhaps the most practical way to summarize it is to recommend its reading under the conviction that it can be revealing for any Cuban, especially those who have not had the opportunity to be educated in independent schools. It is an ideal guide to resume the civilizing route that Cuba lost in 1959.
Give it to Cuba so that you can change Cuba.
A Guide to the Future of Cuban Education, in Spanish and English, now on Amazon.
What went wrong in Republican Cuba that gave rise over time to the advent of Castroism? Without wishing to simplify, it is undeniable that on a large scale, there was a lack of education based on preparing children for life, developing their vocational skills, and outlining their civic values in active combination with the family. According to Jose Marti, education should prepare man for life because man comes into the world to live. This type of education would have been fundamental, a powerful antidote against the poison of cataclysmo and communist populism. Cuba needed and will need a practical education for self-esteem, not a ceremonial education for the ego. And there are precedents in the history of the island that offered this kind of education, private institutions, capable of strengthening the individual against the collectivist tide. The most important of them for its liberating bent, for its novel specialization, was the Edison Institute, directed by Dr. Ana Maria Rodriguez de Gutierrez.
Lively men, direct men, independent men, loving men. That's what schools should do.
According to Dr. Jaime Estive, the School of Patrocinio and Poi distinguished itself by being a leading institution in what referred to the application of modern teaching methods in Cuba. The influence of John Dewey's pedagogical concepts, clarifies Estive, on the vitalist, progressive school, was notable. In the Instituto Edison they encouraged the free expression of ideas, along with the use of new auxiliary media, among them audiovisual media. Among the extracurricular activities was dance, music, the literary composition workshop, the editing of magazines and the Sunday radio hour, transmitted throughout the island and produced by students and teachers.
The academic preparation and vocational development of the student via the extracurricular offerings did not constitute the ultimate ends of the school. For Dr. Ana Maria Rodriguez de Gutierrez, the integrated formation of the young person was the central objective of her work as an educator. She conceived of the school as a forge of citizens formed in the principles of justice and love for the truth. In 1895, John Dewey asserted that the school should foment the initiative and social and democratic spirit of childhood, organizing itself cooperatively, in community. Forming the young in the democratic spirit requires, according to the North American philosopher, that the school transforms itself into a place of life for the child, in which he is a member of society, as conscious of his belonging to it and to which he contributes actively, a concept developed in profundity by Instituto Edison. Coincidentally, the assigning of work groups whose tasks are adjusted to the individual needs of the students constituted an outstanding characteristic of the pedagogic system implemented by Dr. Ana Maria Rodriguez.
The Edison Institute, according to writer and journalist Carlos Alberto Montaner, neglected absolutely nothing. Academics, sports, the intense mastery of English, music, practical learning in commerce, banking and finance, radio, fine arts and much more. There was, naturally, a teaching method. Learning by doing, not by memorizing. At the same time, a kind of discipline based on rationality and respect was encouraged, and the love of a job well done was valued. Studying there gave character. It generated what the French call esprit de corps, a warm sense of belonging and camaraderie.
Give it to Cuba so that you can change Cuba.
A Guide to the Future of Cuban Education, in Spanish and English, now on Amazon.